Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Plunge Talks podcast. My name is Michelle. I'm your host, and I'm here with my guest, CJ.
Thank you for
Welcome,
having me.
CJ. Thank you for being here.
I'm excited.
Yay. So first question I always ask is, CJ, how would you like the world to know you?
I would like the world to know me as a fitness enthusiast, but more specifically just a person for information. You know, if you're thinking about fitness, health, and wellness, I want you to think of CJ as a pillar of information.
Yes.
I think that's my job to educate the individuals on the how and the why, on fitness, wellness, recovery, body composition change, and just how to do it. You know, we're in a world where everyone says you have to do it like this, or you have to do this, but they don't break down the how and the why. They don't really get individuals to buy in. You know, everybody, they see my physique or they see I have a gym and they're interested. So instead of me putting myself upon them, I want them to give them information so they can understand and want to do it themselves.
Yeah, and the why is so important. And like you said, people forget about the why, or they keep the why very kind of superficial.
Exactly.
Well, I see you and I want to be fit like you. Okay, that's my why. And though that can be a motivator, it's not necessarily going to be the discipline and the motivation that's going to keep you through to the very end, because it's a lifestyle change.
For sure.
It's not an easy feat going from someone who may not be very physical, may not work out that much, may not really pay attention to their health that much, and then you have to basically completely change your lifestyle.
Have to change your lifestyle, and it's hard. It's so hard. The diet, the working out, the just being consistent, and it's not an easy task. It's like, you know, you might say, hey, I could just change my diet, or I could just stick to this, but you just have to break it down, and people are used to their former lifestyle or whatever they're introduced to. You know, you're a product of your environment, so when they get the information to change their lifestyle, it's like you have to break away those habits.
Yes.
And you have to give them a reason to.
Yes.
You know, you can't tell people to go to bed early and miss watching TV
or miss going out with their friends.
Or miss going out with their friends. You have to give them that information so they can register in their mind, maybe I don't want to go out. Maybe I need to try to get 7 to 8 hours so my performance can be better. And down the road, you know.
And then to understand the science behind it too, right? So, okay, people say you need 8 hours of sleep. That's something that people have been telling us forever, but it's like you don't say, it doesn't say why, what that does to our physiology, what that does to our cortisol levels, our hormone levels, all that stuff. And before we even get into that, you own a gym.
I do.
Right? Falconer Fitness, right here in Fort Lauderdale.
Right here in Fort Lauderdale, yes.
So what even brought you into that space?
To be honest, I never wanted to own a gym or like had a thought like I wanted my own gym. As I was getting into fitness even more and just my body was changing, I became more addicted.
It is an addiction.
You know, the routine just became part of my lifestyle. I just love working out, and it's a guy that I used to play football with at FAU. Him and his brother had started a gym. It's not where my gym is before. It's like similar, in the same area.
Okay.
But they started the gym, and I went there, and I was just working out, and I just giving the information. I had the energy, and they was like, "Yeah, we want you to come on and help us." And they gave me a key, and I was just like flabbergasted, hit the floor running. I actually used to be a teacher before I opened up my gym.
Oh, really?
Yes, I was a first grade teacher.
Oh my God, fun!
Yeah, it was pretty cool, but
that's adorable.
yeah, I love the kids, you know. But the fitness was my passion, so I actually resigned for teaching and then went head in. But the entrepreneurship with the fitness and the business side, I guess those individuals wasn't thinking about it, and it became hard. So like within 3 months of me joining, they kind of pulled out. So it's like I took it on myself, and from there I just kept going. It's been 7.5 years now that I had it on myself, and just building up. Learning as I go.
Learning as you go. I'm there too with this place, just learning as I go. But that's amazing that you were able to get involved with something that you're passionate about. You know, because we can be passionate about many things, and we can do things that are for us, but to be able to create your day-to-day, your life with that thing that you're passionate about, and then especially something like fitness and wellness and all that good stuff, like you get to change people's lives in the process.
It's never work, you know. It's never work. It's just what I do. Even today, I was just excited to come and just speak about the things that I like to do, and the information that I'm getting, and the information that I would love to learn more, so I can just help more.
That's amazing. Well, let's get into it. Let's share. So, what is something that you're learning right now, or that you're working with right now, that you're thinking that people need to know more of?
Oh, okay. So I'm learning about the vagus nerve.
Ooh, yes. Let's talk about that. I'm obsessed with the vagus nerve.
Okay. And I'm just learning how important the vagus nerve is, how it controls the emotions, how it controls your stress.
Yes.
How it controls the parasympathetic nervous system and the sympathetic. So I'm really, really like interested in that, because me personally, it's hard for me to be in parasympathetic mode, and I didn't understand that.
Yeah,
and even
parasympathetic is the rest and reset. That is when your nervous system it's not activated, it's chilling, and that, like when we do breath work here, when we do our breath holds, we try to get into that parasympathetic state.
Exactly.
When we're in the cold plunge, and CJ has a cold plunge at his gym as well, when you get in the cold plunge, right, you get in and you start to panic, and you start, right, that's your sympathetic nervous system being activated, and then through your breath and through intentionally calming your body, you are then intentionally activating your parasympathetic nervous system while in that stressful state, which, I mean, does amazing things for your mental strength and capacity and emotional capacity and your nervous system and being able to control your body. But I feel like most people in our day-to-day, even when we're taking a shower, you have your shower thoughts, whatever, but you're thinking about the next thing, right? You're activated on, okay, what's my to-do list? What do I need to do next? Even when you're going to sleep, you're like, okay, what's tomorrow look like? Trying to close things out. So rarely are we in true parasympathetic mode.
Yes. And we're often having a heightened or overactive nervous system.
Yes.
And that's very important for someone who's into fitness, because you cannot recover if you're not resting.
Yes.
So,
and truly resting, right? Truly resting and allowing your body to get into that parasympathetic state. Many people have rest days that aren't really rest days. And like active recovery is one thing, like a nice yoga practice or maybe going for a walk. But when you're doing that, if you're not allowing your mind to meet you where that is too, then your nervous system, your physiology is still active.
Still active.
And how can your body repair itself when it's just in that constant fight or flight mode?
So that's something I'm like totally into, and diving into that information, because wellness is important. We're in a world where we're so vanity based that we just think about the fitness side, but you can't.
You just want to look good.
You just want to look good,
which is nice.
Which is cool, but you can't be fit if you're not well. You can't perform at 100% if you're not rested. So these are the things that I'm interested in learning even more. Number one, for myself, because I want to be at the top of my game.
Of course.
And then I just want to gather information to be able to articulate to the clients and the followers and the audience, so they can want to rest and get in parasympathetic mode. And just instead of saying, you need to rest, you need more sleep, exactly what we said in the beginning, I just want to break these things down so someone will realize, okay, let me try to rest and rest, So at my gym or throughout the day, I call it turtle time,
Turtle time?
Turtle time.
Oh, that's so cute. Wait, I love that.
Because when we work out, it's like the whole thing is a filthy animal, we going in, you go hard. But the other side of that same coin is rest. You have to be able to move slow and move like a turtle. You can't be ferocious all the time.
Yes.
You're either going to burn out or crash out. They say stress is the #1 killer.
It is. Well, stress increases cortisol levels, which causes inflammation. Inflammation is what causes all that chronic illness and disease. Your body just is literally eating itself from the inside.
You're constantly in dis-ease, so you're more prone to diseases.
Yes.
So just want everybody to be well.
Yes.
so they could be fit.
That's it. That's it.
So that's what I'm looking into with the vagus nerve. And another thing with that is just the breathing, and I know you will love this. And what I'm learning is if you can't breathe through a position, you don't own it. You know, whether it's stress, whether it's exercise, whether you're under a heavy squat, whether you're in a meeting, whether you're having a conversation, whether you're in a relationship, if you can't breathe through those things, you don't own it, and the body senses danger, you know, and they want to get up out of there. Versus if you can breathe and control yourself and own whatever situation that is, now the body registers as safe.
Yes.
And now it could like relax.
Right, and now you can actually surrender into that experience, be in that moment, take in that person or that thing, that event, whatever it is. You're actually fully conscious in that moment. I love that.
So that's kind of what I'm researching and very interested in now, you know, parasympathetic. I call it turtle time.
Turtle time. I love that. I'm going to steal that from you.
You go
Is
ahead.
that cool?
You know,
okay.
That's all right. You know, that's all right. And that's currently what I'm reading about, and I have like a couple of books. I have she's like a health coach. She's a mineral, I know she's gonna be mad because I messed it up. She's a wellness coach that focuses on mineralization. And she just wants your bodies to flow, you know, and be at rest. So just different modalities that I'm using to actually educate myself so I can be in turtle time and I can introduce it to the world.
Yes, and so when you do go into turtle time, when you have your turtle time, whether it's your own or you're instructing your clients to do it, what kind of things are you doing? What's your activities?
Number one is breathing, right? Breathing. I do various amounts of breathing, but what introduced me to it is the Wim Hof.
Love that.
I love to do Wim Hof, and I'm just so used to Wim Hof now. It's like when I hear his voice, I just calm
it just
down,
goes right
you know,
into
I
it.
just calm down. And different things like the cold plunge or the cold water immersion. And what I find is when you get in that water and you're able to relax and let go, that's very hard. But when you get to that mode, you feel like a different person. You know, the body's like at ease. And so breathing, breath work, cold water immersion, heat therapy, like a sauna. I have a sauna at the dungeon as well.
Very nice.
And different modalities, like I get a massage. Yes, I get a massage like twice a week. Every Friday I get a 2-hour massage.
Oh my God,
I'm so sorry.
I love that. That's okay.
And it's just for the body to just be at rest, you know.
And it moves stuck energy. When I lived in New York, there was a massage place right on my block that was like kind of in the basement of an old building. So it looked kind of sketchy. It had like the weird neon signs and whatever. But I could get an hour massage for $35 if I went before 3 p.m.
Wow.
And so anytime I could sneak out of work, because I had a doctor's appointment or something, I would go get a massage. And let me tell you, like, that kept me alive. That was, and I've been struggling to find a good massage place down here. Obviously, I'm not going to get a deal like that, but I feel like a completely different person if I can get a massage. And we forget too, like I feel like there seems to be two different schools. There's like the mental people that's working on the mentality, the psychology, everything that's happening here. And then there's the physical people. There's the, you know, you're working out, your wellness, you're eating right, the more physical stuff. And we forget that we need both together at the same time. So even if it's yin and yang, that's right. And even if you're working on your body, you need to rest your body and do good things for your body, and your massage is gonna help translate to what happens mentally.
It does.
Like, it's all one system, and we forget that. If we treat our physical right, our mental is gonna be right.
Right. This is true. And the number one thing that I do for turtle time is I go to bed early.
Yes, early bedtimes. Let's go. What
bed
time do you go to bed?
I'm in bed before 7:30.
Yo, that's amazing.
Really, just because I want to. Another thing is like the circadian rhythm and the biological clock. I'm a firm believer in that, and we just especially living in America, the domesticated lifestyle, that we're so off the circadian rhythm that it's kind of hard to get in parasympathetic mode. So I'm trying to give the body the time to rest when it needs to. I wake up around like 4 o'clock.
Okay.
And my body naturally wakes me up. Another thing is like cortisol is a good hormone if used right.
If used right,
So my cortisol turns on around like 3:30, 4 o'clock, wakes me up, get me going, and I try my hardest just to remain in the biological clock and the circadian rhythm. So I don't do nightlife or anything like that. I kind of, like, my friends already know, like, CJ's going to sleep. And just because I want to be well to perform, you know,
100%.
and it's just something that I want to do, you know, like, I don't think I'm missing out on anything, but
You're not.
not at all. But the average person, they would hear this and they was like, yo, you go to sleep at that time? And I'm like, yeah, like, I do not want to miss my rest, you know.
No.
By the time 5:30, my body's already like,
Right.
I'm
You're
no
already
good.
shutting down.
I'm no good.
Yeah.
I'm no good. I wouldn't even take clients. I have a few clients that, you know, if they really need me, I'm going to book them, but I wouldn't take a lot of people on at that time because I know I'm trying to turn off, shut down.
Yes.
So, yes, I go to bed early.
Yeah, I'm a big 8 o'clock gal. I'm in bed at 8 usually, up around 5:20. And I've been getting shit for that probably my whole life. I mean, given when I was in my 20s, I was up all night kind of thing. I was living that. I was up all night and still waking up at 5 to go work out, which
I used to do that.
Yeah.
Not good.
Not good. Horrible.
I have a
Absolutely
saying now,
horrible.
it's like, it's not about how early you get up, it's how early you go to bed.
Yes.
That's the most important
That's
thing.
it.
Anybody could go to sleep at 2 and wake up at 5.
Right.
Severely tired, sympathetic, it's going
Right.
crazy.
Right.
But if you could go to bed early and just listen to the body and allow that to be something that you can do consistent, then you'll be good.
And then matching the sun.
Matching the sun.
Waking up with the sun. When people tell me that they wake up at like 7 or 8 or even 9, I'm like, how? You're missing the whole day.
You're missing so
There's like
much.
so many hours have passed that you can get things done and that you can feel good. And I don't know. I used to be that person.
Yes. And then it's like, I want to open up my gym to introduce those things. So that's, it's called it Recovery Sunday. We actually have somebody that do IVs.
Oh, nice.
I have a couple licensed massage therapists. It's kind of like a networking event, so they can actually learn. But I wanted to come here today because I feel like we can reach more.
Yes.
And maybe they could come in.
There you go. Yes.
Do turtle time.
Well, do turtle time, and I'll make sure to link your gym's info, anything about you in the show notes so that people can find you and reach out to you.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
But have you done the IVs yourself?
Yes.
Okay, what do you think about those?
So now that I'm actually introduced to, her name is Heidi, the wellness coach I told you, and I'm learning about the minerals. I'm split. So again, I'm learning a lot of information. So before I can like tell people what to do in that sense, I kind of try to hold off. But things like what I'm learning is you do not want to take like synthetic vitamin C or synthetic vitamin D because those things could be more detrimental to you. So I feel like if you're like severely hydrated, if you get a basic IV to just get the sodium solution in your body, you know, the deep hydration, and then you could get other minerals from the good sources. So I'm going to want to hold off on that because I don't want to like say don't get
statements on records.
So.
But I think after, like, if you're, competing or running a marathon or doing something that's going to deplete
you definitely want to put that back in, especially if you're out. Like a lot of the people that's going to get IVs are the one that's out drinking, partying. If you're partying, you need to come on in here right now because there's so much other bad stuff in your body. I don't think this going to help you more than it's going to harm you. So it's that.
That's my goal when I become really affluent and abundant in money, is that if I do go out, which is like never, I think maybe I'll stay out past.
More like a daytime.
Right. But even still, like even if I find myself partying, like no matter what, I need to make sure that I have like an IV person coming to my house the next day because it just destroys me.
It does.
Destroys me.
And I hate feeling tired and lethargic and not being able to do what I want to do. That's a reason why not saying I don't drink, like I drink a little bit, but I don't get like wasted or stuff because I want to wake up the next day and be able to go, want to wake up, want to do my thing.
Yes.
I do not want to feel hindered by something like drinking. So.
Right, which is pointless.
Which is pointless,
right.
you know.
You just spend a lot of money, eat a lot of empty calories, and then just feel like trash the next day.
Trash.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my stance on those. But in terms of hydration, electrolytes, minerals, I'm a big advocate for potassium, magnesium, sodium.
Yes.
Individuals don't know how important sodium is. It's kind of like it has a bad name because of
everyone's told sodium is bad, and it is when it's in processed food, when it's in packaged meals, when you're eating out at a restaurant and they're just dumping salt on your food.
And if you live a sedentary lifestyle, then that's bad. But if you're active and you're sweating a lot, like I sweat profusely, like even right now I'm sweating just because my body
it's also toasty
prepping me. It's just prepping me. Let's cool CJ down. And if you're in high activity, you need these minerals to properly hydrate. Water alone cannot hydrate you. Actually, it's going to decrease performance because the body has to turn that into H320, which is the it's cellular hydration.
Okay.
You know, so water alone.
So it's something that actually a molecule our cells can actually receive.
Exactly. That's why like IVs is a solution. You just can't put water in the IV and put you in your body and like hydrate because it would like damage your cells. So the same thing, when you drink it, the body has to like go through that process so it can be able to use it. And these are the other things that I'm learning to help myself increase performance and the individuals who want to be better. Because I remember as a young trainer, I'm like, you gotta drink water, you gotta hydrate. And everyone already knows you need to hydrate, but it's like, why should I hydrate?
Right.
Why should I come here already hydrated and not be dehydrated? So.
Well, and I think people do, everyone says hydrate. And when I used to work in an ER, I worked in an ER for 2 years, and one of the things that I did there was I took blood for whatever labs I had to run. I was a phlebotomist for part of my job. And every single person that came in that was chronically ill, that came in often, we had our frequent flyers, that would come in with a bucket of medication, every single one of them was dehydrated. Every single one. And I feel like people don't even know they're dehydrated these days, especially living down here in Florida. I mean, I'm sweating 24/7. 24/7 I am sweating, and it has been a real challenge to be able to properly rehydrate. And I've got the electrolytes, I drink my coconut water, I'm just put sea salt in my water, whatever it is, I'm just constantly trying to rehydrate. But I don't think people actually realize, like, physiologically what it does to our bodies to not have the hydration that we need, not have the magnesium, the potassium, the sodium, all these things that, you know, our bodies are these little like electrical circuits.
It is.
And if there's any disruption in those, and if you ever took a chemistry class or organic chemistry class, which I failed in college, that's why I'm not a doctor. But you could still have this understanding that, like, without these key elements, the whatever that container is, whatever that system is not going to function properly.
It's not functioning properly
Period.
at all. This is very true. So yes, and all of these things, number one, I am a trainer and I do like to train clients, and I think I do a pretty good job, but I do all this for myself first.
Well, but that's so important too, is that we need to, as whether you're a trainer or whether, like for me, I'm a facilitator, whatever, if I don't do it first for myself, how on earth am I going to expect someone else to do it too?
Exactly.
Right? It's leading by example is so important. And I'll see so many people, whether it's on social media or, you know, in the various places that I go, that are telling people, you need to do this, you need to do that, but they're not taking care of themselves. You know, even as a therapist, working as a therapist, I would work with these other therapists who are wonderful people, incredible people, but they were a hot mess. Hot mess with like no self-awareness and had no to me, it seemed as if they had no desire to even work on themselves. They just wanted to sit in the room and be the therapist, and that's fine. But you are doing such a disservice to yourself and your clients if you are not taking care of yourself first and figuring shit out for yourself first. Now, everybody works different, right? Not one thing is going to work for everybody. However, the more you know about yourself and your own process, the more valuable you're going to be for your client, whatever it is. And I think that needs to be more of a statement, is like, embody it. If you're teaching something, embody it. If you're selling something, embody it.
And that just helped the buy-in process even more. I'm a big advocate for do as I do versus do as I say. Like, you know, when I'm giving my clients something to do and I see that they might look frustrated, I wait for them to ask me to do it. I jump right into
You're like,
it. I'm in. And
challenge accepted.
You know, challenge accepted. And I just go and I show them, and that make them want to like buy in and do it more versus I'm just sitting here and be like, you have to do this, you know. And it's still cool because that's my job, but nobody don't really want to pay to sit there and be like feel defeated or beat up or don't understand. So if I give them the reason to want to buy in, then they accept the challenge themselves. And now it's like, okay, CJ, I'm ready. And then they could go on and work on it. And the next time they see me, they're like, look what I've done.
And then they feel empowered and confident and excited. And they know that in going through this challenge, if you're joining them or if it's something that you know that you've done, that you've shared with them, then they know they're not alone. And then when they accomplish that, they're like, oh, fuck yeah, what's next? Let's do this. And then it just becomes this beautiful snowball of positive, exciting, optimistic, determined, all these great things that then catalyze change. And catalyze change for a long run. Lifestyle. Completely.
You know? And like even just the things like we said, going to sleep early. You know, trying to, being in turtle time so you can rest. I do this myself, so when I give the clients the information, they trying their hardest. You know, at first it's gonna be hard, but you know, when they actually do it, they're so excited to tell me, like, CJ, I didn't go out, I went to bed, or you know, I woke up early, went to bed early. Now they're excited to share this information with me once they get the ball rolling. So I try to lead as an example. Well, I don't try, I do lead as an example. And the ones who want to follow, you know, they will follow.
And then it catalyzes things for everybody else in their life, right? It's like bowling pins. Like one person does it, well then everyone's like, oh wait, you know,
domino effect.
Oh wait, CJ didn't go out last night, he went to bed and now he's up and he's already been for a run and he's at the gym and he's feeling great and he's getting stuff done. Ooh, maybe I should try that.
Maybe so, yes, definitely.
So I want to talk more about the vagus nerve because I think that's so cool. So what are the ways that we can activate or like maximize our vagus nerve, right? Use that rest and reset nerve for, you know, optimize that usage of it.
Right. So the number one way I know was two ways I really know, but the instant that it's cold water immersion. It's cold water immersion. Once you get in that water and just, you know, get it past your shoulders to the neck and you just try to breathe, the body itself is just gonna regulate and then the vagus nerve is gonna do its magic. So I know that it's other modalities that you have to focus, like the breathing, you know, breath work is great, but if you're in your mind, it's kind of hard, you know.
But you need to be in your breath.
You got to be in your breath. You know, you have to work towards it. When you get in that cold.
But that's the beauty of the cold is because, like, when you're in the cold, you can't think of anything else but exactly what's happening in that moment, for better or for worse. But that brings you into the present moment. And then through training or coaching or, you know, whoever's with you, then you get to breathe. So the cold water immersion is the best thing I know for someone to like tap into that vagus nerve and just get the benefits from it. You know, the serotonin, the dopamine, all the positive side effects of that modality. And that's not the reason why I got a cold plunge. I'm learning these things as I got a cold plunge, but
that's why I love the cold plunge so much. You know, I wake up first thing in the morning and I go to my gym and I get in the cold plunge. That's the reason why I came to this space, because I bought a cold plunge, right? And while I was waiting on it, I'm like, and somebody like posted one time, and I looked at the space, I'm like, that's right by me. And, you know, I was coming here to the point, you was like, CJ, you should just get a membership.
Right.
And, you know, I was just, you know, like all for it.
Yeah.
So cold water immersion.
Yes.
I'm a big advocate for it. I love it, you know, not only for recovery, but to rest.
Yeah, well, and it's a good pre-workout too, right? You've been doing like a pre-cool thing. So tell us about that.
Okay, so the pre-cool came from, again, I'll be doing research, different individuals I listen to and things I read, but I understand that your body actually releases testosterone and HGH at a super high level when you recover from the cold with exercise. So when you recover from the cold with exercise, your body start pouring these things out, and it just give you that added benefit to like working out and things like that, like, you know, growing. So the pre-cool is something, I know it's kind of hard for a lot of people to do the pre-cool, but for me, I go in the gym.
Because it's literally at your gym.
It's literally
so
right there. So it's just like I get in for about 3 to 5 minutes, you know, rest, get out, towel off real quick. Depending on what I'm doing, I might change my clothes, and then I just get to it, and, you know, it just makes it that much better. Even like the first 30 minutes to 45 minutes of the workout, my body feels like amazing. It's like, not that it's hard for me to warm up, but I feel like it's like a cool shell on the body. It's like a little force like on the outside of my body. It feels cool. Like, I don't know, I feel like Goku in Dragon Ball Z, like it just and right, it's nothing that compares to that. And ever since I came across that information and have been doing it myself, I feel way better. Yeah. Really, really good. And
are you seeing difference in like your performance and your strength and your physique? Like
performance is really good. My physique is getting really good as a side effect of increased performance. And then the main thing is just the rest. It allows me to just rest and be calm. And I think that benefits me more than anything, you know, the recovery, because you don't get better in the gym, you get better outside the gym when the body has to adapt to that stress that you put upon it. And I think my adaptation period in time has been most beneficial to the results that I'm getting. So I love the pre-cool, you know.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to try that.
You have to try.
I've been working out next door at Symmetry, and I love it. I've been going in at 6 a.m. because if I get my workout done first thing, I feel great. And so I do have access to my cold plunge before a 6 a.m. workout, but I've been struggling, man. And when we opened, when I was opening every day, I was coming in, I was here at 5 a.m. doing my cold plunge. So doing it in the morning is not a big deal, but I don't know why I struggle with the idea of doing it before, like right before my workout.
Yeah, before, like, sometimes I feel the same way. It's like, do I want to get in today? But if we do it, it feels that much good. And it's different things, like to time the cold plunge before and after a workout is different benefits depending on what your goal is. You know, if your goal is to build muscle and be in hypertrophy, you want to do it before. You know, you don't want to really do it after, because the cold plunge is so good at its job that it stops the inflammation process, the adaptation process, so you can get back to it. But in terms of someone wanting to build muscle, you don't want to stop that process. You actually need it so the body could
rebuild itself.
So it's like, and it's different. If you're someone who's like an endurance athlete, like this runner just messaged me and he was like, do you think I should get in after? I'm like, yes, if you're gonna run again, because you want to recover quick so you could perform again, you know, so it's different based on whatever your goals is in terms of what type of training you're doing, you know? So I think that's very important. So like today I did my legs early. I did a pre-cool, then I did legs. So I'm gonna give myself a couple of hours, and then later I'm gonna do cardio and then get in the cold plunge.
Okay.
you know, because I don't really need to adapt for the cardio. I'm doing that to
well, that's your circulatory system.
You know,
that's
for recovery.
Yeah.
And then more recovery, and then so I could just calm down, wake up, and just do it again. So it depends on whatever your purpose is for your training. That's when you want to time whether you're going to do it before or after. If you don't have access to like pre-cool, you want to give yourself like maybe 4 to 5 hours after resistance training, so you could get in the cold plunge and not hinder that adaptation process.
Yeah, I'm trying to think right now. So I've been working out from 6 to 7 a.m. and then I have jujitsu at 9:30. So it's at 7, 8, 9. So like, okay, so then I'm here around 10:30, 11. So that's like 3 or 4 hours.
That's pretty cool. And then your blood is circulating, so it could like do its thing, and that's good time. The worst thing to do is go do resistance training and get right in, because now you're negating that adaptation process. You know, you give yourself some time, and then you'll be all good.
Amazing. All right, maybe I'll try the pre-cool. Not this week because it's supposed to be like in the 60s in the morning this week, and I like can't. I
can't wait. Well, we're just gonna have 2 weeks of like cool
2
weather.
weeks of cool weather,
and
then it's gonna
gone.
get hot again.
It's gonna get hot.
Love being in Florida. Love it. Love it. But yeah, so what is something that you, other than the breath work, other than the cold plunge, just in general working with clients in fitness, like what is something you wish more people would know when starting their fitness journey?
That's a good one. It's a process. People want it right now.
Yes.
They want it right now.
Immediately.
You know.
And there's all those programs online too that are like, get abs in 7 weeks, or like get this ass in 7 weeks. Like that's not how that works. So how do you even battle that? You know?
Oh my God.
It's a hard one, right?
It's a hard one, right? So what I do is give them the information so they can understand themselves, like, yo, CJ, that's not really obtainable. And now when they talking to me like that, then I could give them the information. But the number one thing I want everyone who's want to get into fitness or start to understand that you have to condition yourself to be able to do the exercise that's going to get you the legs, the butt, the abs, or be able to perform at top. It's just like an athlete. You could be the best athlete at your sport, but if you're not conditioned, you can't last in the game. So your skill set is non-existent. So individuals don't understand, let me condition myself so I can perform better, so I can do a squat, a deadlift, or so I can get through a workout effectively so I can get the results I want. Everyone goes in there and they're already tired and they can't even complete it, and that hinders your process, you know. And then on the flip side to that is everyone exercise, not everyone, but a lot of individuals exercising to burn calories, which is, it's a never-ending battle. That means you're just sitting there combating a bad diet, you know, versus when I have my clients, I tell them we're gonna work on conditioning. If you condition, you can perform better. And if you're performing better, you're using more energy. And at the end of the day, you're burning more calories versus let me go burn these calories. And now it's just tedious and you're looking at whatever.
Right, you got your calorie counter on your phone and you're inputting all your food or guessing, which is the worst. But that, I mean, that too, especially with women, I feel like a lot of women, at least I've noticed on my own journey, when I talk about, like, I love lifting. I love lifting, look at my biceps, look at that shit, right? I love lifting, and I've had so many women throughout my life say that they don't want to touch weights, they don't want to lift, they don't want to do any of that strength stuff because they're afraid that they're going to be too muscular. I'm sorry, I've worked very hard for these. You're not going to be very muscular just from like 2 lifts at the gym. You're fine. But if that's your goal, keep doing it. But I've had so many women say, no, they just want to do the cardio. They just want to do the cardio and burn the calories, and that's fine. Like you said, like you can burn calories, but then it just becomes this process of like, okay, I'm going to be on the Stairmaster for like an hour so that I can have this meal. It's tedious. And when you have muscle, you're burning much more energy at rest.
Right.
Your resting baseline calorie is going to be significantly higher than if you just do cardio all day. And I think people miss that.
People do miss that.
Yeah.
So when I do get the clients, the number one thing I do at my gym and what I specialize is something called metabolic conditioning. So we want to condition your metabolism to burn at a higher rate. So you do burn the energy at rest, you know. So we aiming for a body composition change, which everybody wants. Really, we want to build up lean muscle and get rid of stubborn body fat. And how we do that is, number one, condition you to perform higher in the gym, and then condition the body to recruit these things that have your metabolism as an all-time high, like lean muscle mass. So things with the diet, and I just educate them on those things so we can condition the metabolism to burn at a higher rate. The body start changing, you know, you get lean and curvy, and then once they get those results, it becomes addictive. So condition your performance, condition your metabolism, so we can get the results and stay on the side of being lean, curvy,
and overall healthy.
Because
if all of your systems are working in the right way and you're conditioning properly, and like you said, if it's your first couple weeks at the gym, you might not be able to do exactly what everybody else is doing, but that's exactly perfect. You're not supposed to, because you've never done it before. Your joints are not ready for it, your ligaments are not ready for it, your muscles are not ready for it. So instead of trying to push yourself, and I used to see this too when I was a CrossFit coach, I would see people come in like day one and try to do exactly what everybody else is doing. And though it feels kind of shitty to be like different, you know, and if you're using like the itty bitty weights or a band, you're like, oh, fuck me, this is dumb. But you have to. You have to, because then you're building up that conditioning, that resistance, that ability for your body to actually do the movements in a functional, proper way.
I'm glad you said functional.
Yes, because that's why we're doing this, right? Like there's something to be said for having muscle and having a great physique and looking good and feeling good and having that wellness and eating right and all that stuff. But this isn't just for today. This isn't because I want to feel good today. This is because when I'm 75 years old, I want to be playing with my grandkids. I want to be running around. I want to be snowboarding. I'm going to own a motorcycle, and I'm going to dye my hair pink when I'm in my 70s. I can't wait. I'm gonna have my own like old people's home too for me and all my friends. It's just gonna be amazing. It's
gonna be lit.
Right, it's gonna be lit. So y'all are invited to join my old people's home. I don't know where it'll be yet, but I want to, like, this is not just for now. This is for in my 70s.
Exactly.
You know, and people forget that too because we're so thinking about right now.
Right now, and another thing that I'm learning is that muscle is the longevity organ. Individuals don't understand that.
Say more about that. I love that.
So the more muscle you have, the more younger you will be. Technically, it's like the fountain of youth. And then you will be less likely to be prone to like injuries. You know, when people do get up in age, and you know, like the number one thing is like the slip and fall. It's because they don't have the muscle to actually
to support that kind of like trauma or contact or whatever. People with frail bones or frail joints or hips popping out. You know, I know my grandma, before she died, I think broke her hip like 2 or 3 times. And, you know, that happens because of trauma, of contact with the floor or whatever she fell on. But, you know, when you have musculature, when you have muscle mass to hold it in to support everything.
And then you're more functional.
You're way more functional.
So you're least likely to fall or something like that. And then the other side to having more muscle mass is your body can actually use these calories more. You know, so having more muscle allows you to...
You can kind of eat whatever you want.
You can eat more calories for sure. And individuals don't understand that because the metabolism is using the energy more efficiently. And another thing, this is most important that I want to tell individuals, that energy is not created or destroyed, only converted, right? So food is just energy. What happens is if we consume more energy than we can use, the body's going to store it for later. That's fat. And then what happens is it's never a later. Like the body can never use it.
It's never a later.
It's never a later.
I love that.
So because we keep eating all this energy, so it's just being stored. And this is a way I break it down to the clients that if we want to tap into that stored energy, maybe we have to do different things so we're not intaking a lot of energy.
Yeah.
Right?
So reduce the energy intake, increase energy expenditure.
Exactly. So now when you're talking to them in this language, then they're like, okay, it makes sense. So now when we bring up something like a fasting, you know, now they understand the purpose of fasting. Because if you tell somebody to fast, they'll be like, oh my God, I don't think I could do that. But if you tell them, hey, we want to fast to decrease the energy you're intaking so your body can tap into that stored energy, now it's like, okay. So even if something like fasting is so hard, they're more likely to try it and stick with it because they understand that the purpose for me to not eat those pancakes or cereal or cookies or muffin is because if I'm intaking this energy, I would never get to that stored energy. So there's people who are always working out or on the treadmill all the time or hour on the stairmill. They're like, yo, I can't get rid. All they're doing is burning up muscle. And they're like, I can't get rid of this little love handle, and it's because the body never have a chance to tap into that stored energy, you know. And it's like pre-workout meals and things like that. Is whatever your purpose is. It can be detrimental. So if your purpose is to tap into that stored energy, you don't need to eat before go working out. Now you need to train in a more fasted state. So now your body can actually use the energy that it has stored for later. So when I educate people on that, now they're like, okay, I want to train fasted. Now I want to wake up and hit the gym first thing in the morning before I go to work or before I go to school or before I have breakfast. And they're understanding the reasons behind these things. So yes, we want to give that information right there.
It's so important is, again, back to the why, back to the goal, right? And I think it's so interesting, the fasted, like I work out fasted every day. And if I can't work out at 6 in the morning and I have to work out later, I make sure that I don't eat like 2 to 3 hours before my workout, simply because it's really uncomfortable for me to have food in my system. I don't like to work out with food in my system. But I see so many people having like when I lived in the city, I would work out at 5:30 in the morning in the Bronx. So a friend and I would share an Uber at 4:30 in the morning, 4:40 in the morning every morning to the Bronx to go work out. And she would always have food. She would always be like eating in the back of the Uber, and I'm like, how? It's 4:30 in the morning. Like, it just felt bad just to think about. But so many people feel they have this mindset that they can't do physical activity unless they have like fresh food in their system.
And it's over the years and the people I train, it's 2 reasons for that. The one reason is individuals think they don't have any energy, you know. I need some energy in my body.
I need the food.
And I'm like, yo, you have so much energy on your body, you don't even know.
It's all here now.
Just give the body a reason to tap into that energy. And at first it's gonna feel weird because you're so addicted to not only the sugar and the calories or the oral fixation of chewing and putting something in your mouth. All of those things are very addictive, and this is what I had to learn, because it's not so easy to not eat. You know, it's a lot of things behind that. And the other side why is because a lot of individuals model the bodybuilding style, the nutrition, because they, you know, you see those physiques online, those physiques, they look best physique-wise. You're like, yo, I want those abs, yo, I want those muscles.
And you will
try to mimic that diet, but they don't understand that diet is not optimal for your goal at that time.
Well, and it's a cycle too. Like, people forget that bodybuilders have a cycle. There is a bulking phase that is significant, and there is a shredding phase that is significant. And the shredding phase is the scary phase, because then, you know, they're just trying to, like, they're cutting water, they're cutting all these things. So, you know, I think following that, though it looks good because you're like, I want to look like that. You also have to remember most bodybuilders look good like that for their competition, and then they go right back into their bulking phase. It's not a sustainable thing. They don't live like that.
And even just like the meals, so like people who bodybuild, you know, they eat like 5-6 times just because they have to keep the insulin at an all-time high. They have to keep the calories up. The muscle cannot starve at no time. They cannot lose no muscle, right? So some individuals trying to mimic that meal plan, not knowing that, okay, these people don't have a lot of fat on them at that time, especially when they're eating like that and they're moving so much that they're probably in a caloric deficit even when they're eating 5 or 6 times. It's like, you don't need to be doing that because number one, we need to be in a fasted state. We don't need that energy because you need to tap into this energy. So it's a different things. You know, some people who, I don't know, well, I kind of know what people do, but to each his own. But a lot of bodybuilders, they give out meal plans and things like that, not understanding like that's not that individual's purpose. And it's kind of hard to like, you know, sustain, or it's kind of hard for them to get to their goals because they don't understand it's 2 different processes. And then you need to condition yourself and your body to be able to use that energy so you can look like that anyway. So it's different things why.
There's a lot in the fitness world that is so complicated.
Very.
And I feel like there's so many people trying to do their best, but they don't even know like where to start.
And that's the thing. It's so many people I come across, and the shame is when someone is motivated and driven, and then they get the wrong information, and then they be going, and then they would give up.
It derails them.
It derails them. You know, it derails them. And I'm happy. I'm not the best, but I'm happy when I have people that come and they're ready to work, and I could give them the information and I'll just break it down. And now that drive and that motivation and that determination they have, it can be put into a right place so they could get their results and things like that, you know. I have a lot of, I train a lot of women, you know, and instantly they want to do what they see online, and I'm like, like, we could get you there, but right now you're not there. You know, they see a girl that they're a fan of, and they want their physique to look like that, and like, look what she's doing. Should I be doing that? Well, it's like, she probably been training for 10 years, and in year 1, she wasn't doing. She
didn't look like that.
She didn't look like that, and then she wasn't doing that. So let's stick to year 1, and maybe down the line we could get you like that. So these are the things that I'm educating individuals on, so they can do it for extended period of time, be a lifestyle, so you could get to that 3, 5, 6 year, and now you're doing all the amazing things that you see someone who you idolize do, and then your body can turn the way you want it to in itself. So the information is critical.
Yes, the information is everything.
It is.
And sifting through the false information and having someone to kind of hold your hand through the process, right? Like, you've been doing this for a while. You understand the process, you live it, you eat well, you train well, you rest well, you do all these things. So you know, to at least some extent, what people could be up against.
I do.
Versus, like, you know, a lot of people are doing like online training, virtual training, or they have an app, or they're following TikToks or Instagrams or whatever. And like you said, that person might be doing this for 10 years. They might have had an amazing transformation, but they might be doing this for 10 years. They might not be sharing their whole process. And they don't know you.
Then they don't know you.
You know? How can you, it's like, it would be me as a therapist sitting in front of a room full of people telling them how to get rid of their anxiety when, how can I say that? Because I don't know what's making you anxious.
Right.
I don't know where you live. I don't know who you are. I don't know what your past experience is. I don't know any of these things. It's the same thing with training.
It is.
It's not a one size fit all. It's not an easy fix. It's not a quick pill. I hate that too. I see all those like shredding pills and like shred all this.
What's that thing now that's going crazy? The Ozempic. Oh my God.
I don't think I know anybody who's on Ozempic right now.
I don't know anyone on it,
but the fact that is, because that's initially like a diabetes medication, right? And now people are taking it to lose weight.
Just the past week, I was at my mentor's house, and Mr. Johnny, he's like in his 60s. His friends are around that age, and they were just talking about the Ozempic. They were just talking about the results on the world. Like a company like Walmart is scared of Ozempic is because people have the loss of appetite now.
Oh.
So now sales are going down.
Really? It has that big of an effect.
So the simple fact that people not eating anymore.
Whoa.
And I'm like, wow.
That's I didn't realize it was going. I've just seen like the memes on Instagram about the LA women and their Ozempic or whatever. I didn't realize it was reaching levels where like corporations were worried about their bottom line.
Right. When I heard that, I'm like, yo, this thing is serious. I'm like, wow. Because like you said, we don't know anybody. I don't know anybody on it or anything. But, you know, those individuals, they so tapped in. And I heard this information. I'm like, wow. So it's like it's difficult because what I'm selling is really hard work.
Yes, it's hard. It's legitimately hard work.
Hard work. And how can you combat something like that? So now it's like, again, when we started, I would like to give information, the how and the why, so maybe I can give them the positive sides to want to do it versus turn into something like an Ozempic, because all that product just need the right marketer or the right individual, and now everybody's just, you know.
Well, and it's a quick fix, but I'm curious to see what the side effects are in the long term. Like, are you just going to take it the rest of your life? Like, is that how that works?
I don't know.
Right?
Right. One side effect I'm hearing about is like it paralyzes your stomach, meaning like the food you eat is not being digested. It sit there for like for an extended period of time. You know, I haven't done more research on it, but these are the things I'm hearing from those conversations, like with my mentor, and I'm just like, wow. You know, people are willing to take those risks. Just because they're lazy.
Because they want to be skinny and they don't want to put in the hard work.
So now they need individuals like us to give them the information, and maybe we can get them motivated to be
educate, motivate, get that discipline going, because it's all discipline.
It's all about discipline.
It's all discipline, and it's all showing up for yourself every day and wanting to be the best version and not expecting to be perfect. We both, I'm sure you go to the gym too, where you're just having a day where you feel like shit and you perform like shit, but you still show up, still try.
That's a part of it.
Yes.
That's a part of it. You're not going to be 100% every day. You know,
you can't be, that's impossible.
It's impossible. And you're not going to be perfect all the time.
Yes.
You know, and
your diet's not going to be perfect all the time. You know, one trip to Costco and a big tub of chocolate-covered raisins later, it's 3.4 pounds, and it's almost gone. 3.4 pounds of chocolate-covered raisins right in here. Right, but you gotta live.
You gotta live.
And you gotta be kind to yourself. Am I gonna, you know, go ham on that tub of chocolate-covered raisins and then hate myself the rest of the day and then try to do cardio to fix it and try to do all these things? No, I just say, oops.
Downward spiral.
Right, then it spirals.
So that's why, again, my main thing is like the energy. I give them the energy. So now I have some clients, they love brunch. And
Who doesn't love brunch,
you know, so now when I'm educating them on energy, they're going to make the right choices. Maybe I'm gonna have some bacon and eggs with my mimosa versus pancakes and French toast and syrup, because they understand I don't need to be putting that energy in my body right now. Let me put this protein in, and I can still have a good time. And now they feel good with their choice versus feeling what's it called, FOMO, the fear of missing out. You know, they sitting around their friends and their friends not living the same lifestyle or have a trainer like myself. So instead of them looking at the pancakes or whatever it is, missing out, they over there like, I'm eating these bacon and eggs, and that's why I got these abs, and y'all over there looking like, I wish I could be like you. And just by me educating them empowers the client to, I wouldn't call it the difficult choice, but
I mean, it is though. It's a different, when everybody else at the table has Belgian waffles stacked with syrup and the fluffy butter, you know, they do like the whipped butter.
It looks so good, right?
So good. So when everybody else has that and you're like, nah, I'm gonna get the veggie omelet.
Right.
Like it's that.
And
that
everybody looking at you crazy.
Right.
You're like, live a little.
Right.
You know.
You're like, no, this is it.
This
you
is
know?
it. I want to do this because I understand why.
You stick to your guns and you end up feeling good about yourself because you've trusted yourself. You've confirmed to yourself that you're going to keep choosing yourself. And you're not thinking about today you're thinking about tomorrow you, and a year from now you, and a 5 year from now you, and whatever. And that becomes so empowering.
Right.
It's just really fucking hard at first.
It is hard. My greatest feeling is like when I have clients that, like I had this client and she go to her mom's house and her mom loves to cook like all type of things, and then when she come back and like, yo, my mom trying to cook cake and spaghetti and I wasn't eating none of that, and you know, she's trying to put it, I'm like, no. And she
feels accomplished.
She feels good, and that made me understand, or even feel good that, okay, I'm giving the information, they're making the right choices, and now this workout or session or, you know, the fitness part is gonna be that much easier, and they're gonna get there, you know. And it's the variable. A lot people love to ask, how long would you think? And I'm like,
oh, I hate that.
I'm like, yo, it's kind of hard to answer because it's the variables. It's like, are you gonna not put detrimental energy in your body, which is we're gonna have to come back and work that off. You know, we can't even get to the fun stuff where you see the results. So I just want to give them the information. So now you said they're empowering themselves in those decisions that they're making, especially when they're in a social setting or around their friends. That's the hardest. Like, you know, we're coming up to things like Thanksgiving and Christmas, and I'm not gonna be drilled, so don't eat this and that. I'm just gonna give them information, and now they're gonna understand, like, yo, I'm not finna pig out just because it's Thanksgiving. You know, people think like, oh, I'm missing out Thanksgiving. It's like, yo, you can have that anytime. You don't have to.
That's true. You can have Thanksgiving anytime.
You can have those things anytime. You know, you want to do it more for the social, not just to be eating all this food. But I can't tell nobody to not do their tradition. Right? You're going to be like a Demi Downer, you know. I'll just give them the information. So now when they come back from Thanksgiving, they're like, CJ, I didn't eat no mac and cheese and this and that. You know, I was watching everybody, and that's why they got high blood pressure or whatever it may be. I'm empowering them with the information so they can make the decision and feel good about it. And then we could go forward.
Amazing. I love that. Well, thank you, CJ.
Thank you for having me.
This has been an amazing conversation with a lot of great stuff. So I hope everybody out there listened and is feeling motivated and empowered and excited to start their journey. Like I said, I'm going to link all CJ's information in the show notes. So if you do want to get in touch and you start wanting to work out at the dungeon and get on board with all of that, you can find him.
And don't worry, we're bringing Turtle Time to the space pretty soon.
Yes, Turtle Time at the space. I love it.
You know, if you want to be ferocious, you have to move slow. So yin and yang, we'll make it happen.
That's it. Thank you, CJ.